Hello there, Kasama Lee here. Have you been curious about what a 1031 exchange is? If that's you, you'll want to watch this video. So what is a 1031 exchange? First of all, this 1031 exchange has to do with those who are investors. They own investment properties. And by definition, an investment property is not the property that you live in, but either you rent it out or someone else lives in it. It's not your primary residence, basically. When you have a 1031 exchange, sometimes the investor or the owner of that investment property, they have a change of heart. They want to actually buy a property in a different state than the one that they own. So for example, let's say you own a property in Kentucky, okay? And you used to live there and now you moved away and that property now has been rented out, and you decide that you would like to actually sell that property in Kentucky. But if you were just to sell it outright, there are tax consequences that you would have to pay on the gain of, from when you bought it and now what it might be worth and what you are benefiting from, the profit that you would get from it. So first of all, I am not a certified public accountant. I am not a tax advisor. I have no expertise in taxes. So you would need to talk to your tax expert to learn more about what kind of tax consequences that would be. What a 1031 exchange could do to facilitate that is that you would roll all of your benefit, your proceeds from the sale of that property in Kentucky. And if you decide, let's say, to buy a property now in Florida instead, because now you have a potential tenant that might be a family member or might be a friend who's looking for a place to buy, or maybe your kids are going to school in Florida. Well, you now want to buy a property that would be an investment property once again in Florida. But how do you do it so that you don't have to pay tax on the gain of the property in Kentucky, and you can buy and bring all that money and put it into the down payment of the purchase of property in Florida? Well, you could do that through the 1031 exchange. It's an actual IRS tax exempt. I hope I'm saying all this right, but anyway, it's a tax code that actually allows an investor to sell one property and purchase another property using the proceeds from the property that they sold and bring all of that into the replacement property without having to pay taxes. Yay! Isn't that exciting? How it works is, by the way, I am not a 1031 exchange expert either, okay? But I've been around in real estate long enough and have actually participated in several transactions where there's a 1031 exchange involved to understand some of the basics. So I just want to share some structures with you, okay? And if you would like more information in print, all you got to do is email me at kasamasales.com. I will be more than happy to send you a 1031 exchange guidelines that is done by a qualified intermediary company. I know that's a lot of syllables. I'm gonna go into that in just a little bit, okay? So I don't write this stuff. This stuff is actually it's a tax code, and there are specific ways that you have to get it done to actually be able to defer paying the tax on it. So with 1031 exchange, the basic rules are this. You have the property that you have sold. Go back to the example of the property in Kentucky. You have sold it. Now you have relinquished that property. You have complete the sale of it. Well, from the time that you have completed the sale, you have up to 45 days from the time that property closed for you to have identified a replacement property, okay? Which means you can't just walk around with this money in your bank and not do anything with it. There's a time limitation. You got to have identified a replacement investment property within 45 days. And from the time that you have identified the property, from the day that you have closed, you've relinquished that original property, you have a total of 180 days to successfully close on the replacement property. So you have to have shown they have put all that money that you got here into the replacement property, and you have 180 days to successfully close on that, okay? And a typical escrow is about 30, maybe, 25 to 45 days, depending on the type of financing you have and so on and so forth. And also the conditions. So 180 days is a generous amount of days from the time that you have closed on the original property to be able to close on the replacement property. You have to have been working with what we call a qualified intermediary company. It's actually a company that would facilitate this 1031 exchange. So they have to be a certified company to do that. I can't do that. None of your real estate agent can do that. You have to bring in a 1031 exchange qualified intermediary company to log all of this in and successfully complete the exchange for you to meet the IRS guidelines, okay? I hope this is helpful information to you. For more information, once again, email me at kasama@kasamasales.com, and I'll be more than happy to send you valuable content about the 1031 exchange company that's actually pretty well known in our area, a reputable company that I would love to get you the info on that, okay? So there is a potential, there is hope. You don't have to pay tax on everything. It's totally legit, and it's probably a great solution if you're thinking about relocating your investment property or shifting your investment property strategy. For more information about investment properties, you'll want to watch this video. Thanks for watching.